Alright. Okay. Sorry for this late interruption. Of course, this is me you're speaking to. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this is like the return of something breaking. I have to say, this is a breaking news that just happened in the morning that excited everybody in the industry, including me, which I'm completely shocked. But I guess I gotta go along with this and figure out what the heck has happened because everyone's been rotting about this insane news. So let me go ahead and get straight to the point. Bethesda and Bethesda, you call it not Bethesda, but with after the Bethesda purchase from Microsoft, Activision and Blizzard are the next category that's being interested in Microsoft, which this is blows my mind just knowing how crazy this what I'm just telling you is, and it's just pretty insane. The reason why I am actually using my anime thing is because this is just came in. It's like a breaking thing. So sometimes when it comes to something really bizarre in like craziness, I'm completely go straight into my breaking anime thing and just showing you just exactly how crazy this news actually is, because this blows my mind knowing that this actually happened, and I'm completely in shock that I'm actually, seeing this like insane thing that just occurred. So, in other words, in my thoughts right now, I'm completely blown away that they're actually gonna spend around like 60, almost $70 billion just to get these guys at Blizzard and Activision. I'm completely in shock that they actually plan to do this, because I heard a lot of commotions and I heard a lot of like things that are going bad with the CEO. So this is like a path to the right direction, and I think a path that can have Activision and Blizzard have their employees set right, have them report into the CEO, which is Phil Spencer, and of course maybe let go of the CEO, the one that's rushing things and doing things that are bad, to actually control that, and maybe send him a payout to leave, because I think that would prefer better that he just leaves the industry of Activision and have a bright future for them to make better games, and they're currently being rushed in the way things are being played out right now. So not further well, let's go jump into right into this whole dilemma of like the whole, what the news I'm probably gonna say right now, because this is pretty much insane. So as you guys are aware, that why I have nothing going on here is I'm completely going to be showing exactly what I'm probably talking about and why it's become to my attention to be up like this so late. This is just again blowing my mind, but I'm gonna go ahead and start showing what the news article it reads here, so you can understand why I'm actually putting this, so you can see the truth from your own eyes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it up. Okay, there it is. So I got a couple right here, and I'm also testing to see if there's anything interesting. As you can see, Microsoft's closing in on a $7 billion deal to buy Activision and Blizzard. The Xbox owner is close to buying the publishers from, of course, Call of Duty, and then you could see says Xbox plus Activision, which is truly like insane just looking at this. And you can also see, Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush, and StarCraft that are part of that. But there's probably more in there as well. Like, for instance, I heard Crash Bandicoot is also a part of that, which blows my mind. But in the States right here, that after the Wall Street just reported today that the CEO, like, of course, is announcing of the widespread of the company after the harassment and stuff that's been going on. They're actually having the future of Activision now gonna completely see a different side of how they're gonna be purchased from Microsoft, and what make the third largest company game in the world by revenues behind tech and Sony, which is 68.7 billion that they're gonna be pushing on, and this also blows my mind that the whole purchase is like the biggest licenses in gaming will set Microsoft like in a different era. I'm just amazed at how much of the time they're gonna be putting on this. Just looking at this article, it states that each of them and all this current that is going on suggests this is gonna they're gonna try to clean up a huge mess, and also they're gonna address anything else that's any changes that are going on. Wow, that is insane. And here's another one. Well, Activision will buy games from. So it says right here that Microsoft will buy Activision Blizzard, and of course their games that are also being released down the franchise, and it says the same thing as the previous one, how the harassment and been going on, and their hands on to reverse and to do something changes probably will start happening. Each of this in the article of Fitzben's exclusivity, and that's another one that they're probably going to be talking about the exclusivity of Microsoft's gaming business. That will games will be front forward, making the mainstream, which means he's probably going to have them going straight forward into what you call Game Pass, and having some of the games that I never really heard that are going to be exclusivity to Xbox and PC. So that's what we know for sure so far. The profits against like other stuff that I'm realizing it's really like becoming this one huge steal. I'm completely fascinated by what I'm witnessing right now. But again, these franchises have been being rushed, and it seems that with the new straightforward can actually help the company get better. But again, actually faces like it's sexual harassment and discomfort. Microsoft will find Target under stress and relieved that to find some way to get these companies in a better position, because even though this is going on, there's still hope that the whole situation that you're seeing right here will be like a way to set think courses right for this company in the future and to thrive better, because the way it's handling right now is still having problems. I'm looking more and deep down what Phil Spencer's gonna be doing, but we know through the Xbox, he's also confirmed that in November that after he's seen the deeply horror events from at Activision himself, he still looks at an opportunity to save this company and to find a way to get it back on its feet. And but for sure, I think what's gonna happen is the CEO that runs it might be let go once they have the purchase going through, because I don't think he's gonna be there after what recently happened. But this sets a course, even though they could have taken weeks with 2K, which if they would have gotten 2K, it would have been even a huge win. But again, it's only up to them to decide, because the previous record of the one was 2K, and now it's plans to buy mobile publishers and things like that. If they would have taken 2K, it would have been a different story and even a crazier win. But again, Activision makes them now equal to this whole situation that they're putting in. And as these giants are going through, this is going to be another one that's going to also be in play here. So Microsoft's planning to put most of their games in Game Pass, which makes more people want to join in, and you can tell how many games in Game Pass and the gaming behind it will now have, which includes these people on the top right here that will be a part of this Xbox Game Studios publishing, which that is a lot. I mean, having so much variety, not just for 343 Emoji Studios and Bethesda, but now with Tech and all these ones at the top from both of these are going to be huge like advantage to get Game Pass and a more higher thriving experience. So the deal that summons the big heavyweights and Activision Blizzard summarized of 16 billion. The American publishers that own licenses such as Call of Duty, World of Warcraft has joined the ranks in Redmond's firm, and a question that arises: what games could join the Xbox Game Pass category, which, yes, if you know those studios that make them, it's gonna be a huge, huge, like, you're talking about many of them coming through. But let me go ahead and do something really fast. As I'm witnessing from right now, my own perspective, this is like a big like blow to Sony, because even though Sony doesn't have Game Pass, knowing that Crash Bandicoot is a part of Activision, there's a pretty much chance that, the even though the Sony did use the PlayStation as Crash Bandicoot's advertisement for their platform, now owned by Xbox, it will now be Xbox doing that as the reversal card for them, which is pretty much insane, to be honest. It really much like puts me in a bizarre turn that now they're turning the tables and making this actually happen. But as we go down, you could see right here that categories of Activision are going to be a massive full library in here that are going to be going to Game Pass. So what we'll be arriving is the list of Blur, Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, DJ Hero, Earth Empire. You have Gabriel Knight. You have The Wars, Guitar Hero, and many, many, many more here. Overwatch is a part of this. Questing Knights. The list even goes on and on of how much variety they're showing here. StarCraft is going to be an interesting one. I want to see how that's going to play out in this past, including Tony Hawk's, World of Warcraft, and many see right here. But so far, if you count these games, they're not just one game only. There's many games with different titles on that same platform that are going to be on Game Pass. So I'm looking forward to see how many games that World of Warcraft or Call of Duty and all these rest of them are going to have, because there's so many, including Crash Bandicoot. If you go back right here, there's so many Crash Bandicoot games that I'm going to see what's going to happen when they actually put that in the Game Pass, which is insane. Leading to, of course, the giant like ZeniMax and them also part of it. It gives like a huge access already for a gamer like me who has Game Pass, will now see more games to play and not feeling like they're left out of an exclusivity or anything that's first person story perspective, that now we can play even more. And like if you're people like who love games, who love stories, and like a library for a cheap price, this is your biggest win to get right now. And then we got the 5 issues that are still going on, of course, with the whole Microsoft will be facing the battle. They're going to be facing, because even though their announcement came in, they're going to be facing a couple of stuff, such as the trade commissions and the AU, which these are the ones that justify if deals are going good or deal is being some sort of awful or harmful. They will come in and prevent deals from happening, and sometimes they have hostile ideas, so they have to be careful. And that's like, of course, the FTC. And sometimes they could put lawsuits behind Microsoft to prevent them from doing any deals. So they have to be careful with these guys. But if everything says that it's okay and it's not a red flag or anything like that, then I think it's going to be a way that they can actually proceed with going forward with the purchase. And here's another toxic workplace. They had a lot of toxic and unfair things, so that's another challenge that Microsoft's going to have to step in and try to fix this issue and give some sort of relief to these employees and staff that this is going to be fixed. We're going to try to look at every individual person who works in this to see how things are running and how things are operating, and to see if there's any type of issues going on, that if anyone that's not obeying the rules, applying to the going beyond the limit that as a workplace you shouldn't be doing, they immediately fired. Or if it gets out of a term where it's really beyond something that's not acceptable, maybe arrested, and hopefully that doesn't come to that, leading to that person being in jail. So hopefully they fix that issue. And then of course you got the whole environment, a better working environment. They want to make sure they help the environment, how they're working is much cleaner. Let's say if it's trashy, if it's a complete mess, or it's something that's unacceptable, they'll completely shut down whatever the studios they're working in and send them to a better place, that's better environment, that keeps them running and smoothly and not having to worry about this gross thing, or the bathrooms not being, whatever that may be in the environment, that they'll probably end up looking into that and seeing how the environment is. So the main one is the CEO called Bobby, which he himself is the main cause and responsible for the whole situation in Activision and Blizzard, which he's been not really helping the situation over there. That's why the employees are pissed off. And my personal opinion, I think the boss, of course, Phil Spencer, should let this guy go with the payout, so that way there's no way that this person could continue working, because that's the first step in making a better path for Activision, is letting go of the CEO, because the way that situation's been happening is not looking so great. And as I'm waiting through this, they should consider getting rid of this CEO, because the fact that he's not helping at any type of situation that's going on in their company. And that's the first step that should do once the purchase happens, that this person that's running the business has to leave. That's my own opinion, because when you're in charge of not just maintaining the game revenue and the games themselves, how they're being developed, but how the staff and the workers are being treated and how they're working together. And if something goes wrong, or you're seeing something that's not right and you're not taking action for it, you're ignoring them, then you know something is completely wrong with this person. And allowing this to happen is just destroying the company. And that's the main reason why, when things do not go smoothly, or you're doing something wrong with the pacing, such as rushing games, that is uncalled for and should be evaluated, and knowing that if this is a bad CEO, probably should get rid of them. So just like that, period. No other things. So in Blizzard's opinion, of course, they're having times of looking at their companies, but the most thing that I think should realize is their stories, that be a good problem or a bad problem. Don't know how the situation is. That's how Microsoft has to handle this, and how they're gonna get them back on track and making their stories right, depending on the situation. But there is, a possibility point that these stories may lack upon. But again, Microsoft's going to be owning that, so they're still questionable how they're going to proceed forward with this, and how each of these are going to see the difference of what's going to happen between the franchises, and how they're going to be responding. And it looks like that's about much. But here's the upcoming news that happened like 12 minutes ago. When Sony's side, after they see the build-up plan, they're gonna use something we call some sort of plan of buying mega game. Well, here's their shares right now. Since the deal is going on, they're looking at the situation. So the only thing that they're seeing out of this is they're probably looking and realizing their situation, and they're probably seeing what ways they could build up. Because again, there are Sony's arrival, so most of this is telling me that after their release of the PlayStation VR 2, they still gonna probably see potential with Spider-Man and other Marvel things, because that's probably most of they have in God of War. They probably have way more, but not so much as the Xbox side is having. It doesn't really tell me too much stories here, but I can see tensions already rising between the Sony, that they're probably seeing that this Xbox is now becoming a competitor, and it's gonna be kind of scaring them now, that they're now gonna becoming equal to their platform, and realizing they have the equal amount of games that are popular like their side does. Because to be honest, again, PlayStation and Xbox are both competitors, trying to see which one will advance more, and depends on what games and stuff they have. And to have them equal now, where this side has the equal amount of good games as the other side, can really bring competition towards each other, and facing gamers with choices of what they want to proceed with. So again, I'm just like in complete shock, but that's exactly what's going on. So let me go ahead and let me see this. Go ahead and close this window. So yeah, the whole situation of this breaking thing is just marvelously insane, and I'm just like in shock that this actually went down. Again, I'm just like in disbelief that they're actually going to proceed with this, and I hope to see them with a bright future and hope to know what else is going to go down there. Because again, I don't know what else I'm expected, but I do know that after seeing other YouTubers talk about this and their own thoughts and their own ways, this is something that may help Activision give them a bright, not just a bright future, but a way to make better gaming, because their games have been suffering pretty bad on rushing, and that's because of the CEO wants things to be rushed all the time, not giving them time. Like, with 343, when they took their time, they made the gameplay right, and it's still playable, even though it does lack a lot of content. At least their game is playable, and it does have a great gameplay that they took their time to make the details right and to get the game working. While in Activision, they've been always rushing things. They always been doing things that are too fast for somebody to just play it and realizing the problems that are already occurring. And now with Microsoft stepping in, they might do a change to this and prevent this from occurring in some way by making them slow down a bit and having them more focus on the game's techniques and right. Because, whatever Call of Duty may come in, depending on the situation, maybe they make another World War Call of Duty or something that looks mostly like space, to giving a new title for whatever Call of Duty they're gonna make, might give them a sense of relief that they don't have to rush it anymore, that they can just take their time making things right, getting the stories right, making things like developers should be getting, is the time they need to make these games perfect or the way it's supposed to be, similar to Halo, where they were given time and they're giving things, techniques to make the gameplay as best and to make the game work as possible. So again, this was breaking news. I had to say my own thoughts and what I witnessed and saw. The thing that happened and have Crash Bandicoot now part of Xbox is mostly insane, because they're still missing titles that are not remastered from the Crash Bandicoot series, which is the Wrath of Cortex. That's the one I played a lot. Is about a story of Crash Bandicoot, most likely realizing he has to face all types of masks, and he has to do his best to try to get these crystals to take each mask down. And it was kind of bizarre what I grew up with. Even though it was really difficult, it's still, I still believe that if it does get remastered, it will look a bright future for what Xbox might now advertise to way to get people into rather Game Pass or to acquire an Xbox. So that's basically a huge win for them, including Candy Crush, when Candy Crush is like on everybody's phone, and realizing now Xbox would require Candy Crush. You can have them going crazy with Candy Crush, and Microsoft could even acquire money from revenue from there as well as a mobile game, which is insane. But most importantly is the Call of Duty franchise. Those are the ones that are mostly the ones that are the big top like most popular game that Activision does. But I'll be surprised if they do return Spider-Man, because then Activision did have Spider-Man as the one making game thing, because it was a part of Activision. And if they do a deal where they could return Spider-Man back, that will be a huge blow to Sony, and of course the guys over there at Somiac, that would be angry as heck. But the huge blow if they manage to get Spider-Man back into their platform, because it was owned by them and they're the first creators who made that. I'll be shocked. And not only the Xbox will be leading, but now getting Spider-Man back will be something even that will blow every gamer's mind. Although there will be lawsuits if that ends up happening. But I do think that, taking a step forward in something more into a better path for Activision and Blizzard will show something that makes not just me as a gamer happy, but can show a variety of more titles coming into Game Pass and more gaming stories looking forward of what type of ideas they'll have to make games not being rushed anymore. And that's the key right there, is no more rushing games, taking their time to make it right, make their time to make products much better. So that's all I have to say. Give me your leave in the comments what you think about this crazy thing that just happened, and I'll look forward for more what's coming to come next, because again, by 2023 this deal is going to close, rather the purchase has been made or something goes wrong, we don't know. But all I know is if this does happen, we got to see how Microsoft's going to handle this, and of course Phil Spencer with confirming himself what he's going to plan to do with this company. So thank you again so much, and we'll see you on another original video from your Zero Pal Jimmy Wilson. Thank you so much, and bye bye.